Hi Mario, how you doing?
Fine, and you, Ken?
Doing okay, doing okay. Good to see you, even though it's virtually. Usually, we'd
Me
love to
too.
see you at NAB in the trade show like last year and stop by the Mediapro booth, which I'm sure would have been a big potpourri of products and technologies, as always. So we can't do that, obviously. So I do want to give a chance to spend some time with you to discuss what's going on at Mediapro, because obviously there is a lot going on at Mediapro because you're a massive company. So maybe just start with a quick overview of what Mediapro is for those people who may think that you're more of a production company and related to La Liga, but obviously you guys are much more than that.
Definitely, yes. MediaPro Group is, headquartered and founded 25 years ago in Barcelona, in Spain. But then, over all this period, we grow a lot around the world. We have currently, offices in 56 countries, and with many activities from the rights management, sports rights management, that is basically, a huge business unit. Probably the most important asset we have are La Liga Soccer, international worldwide distribution, but we have many other assets. We also produce content like series, like movies, formats, entertainment, news, and we create all this content to third party and to our own content distribution. We have a very interesting and growing content unit called UBeat for the sports and OTT. And also we tried recently on this content level to start our OTT for the Canadian Soccer League.
Right.
Started last year. Of course, that what we call other visual services, coming from the mobile units to studios, to control rooms, to remote production, special cameras, graphics. And for that, we have several companies, Mediapro companies, that develop all these business, like Overrun, for example, for everything related with the broadcast transmission over satellite with our own teleports and our own, internet and fiber connectivity. WT Vision, as you really know, long time, for the graphics and augmented reality in sports and many other kind of content. Aerial cameras, something that we started last year here in the US, and incorporated. We'll talk later on about a new company that we incorporated in the group a couple of months ago, related with VR, AR technology and projects. So a bunch of stuff, in this fourth unit about what we call innovation, Mediapro innovation, that have a lot of new stuff appearing. Unfortunately, we're not able to show all this stuff at NAB. Right. But anyway, we are trying to, solve the current problem with these kind of initiatives.
Right. So do you want to start by, should we discuss the facilities first, or would you rather start with some of the toys? Because I know obviously a lot of our members love to read about the toys, and they like the facilities. So where would you like to start?
Specifically in this case for the SVG, of course, that we can talk a little bit. I already explained about the rights management that is very relevant in sports. The good thing here about this complementarity about the business units, because when we acquire the rights, we are not just a traditional, rights distribution where we acquire the rights and sell the rights and earn some money in the middle. Right. What we do is basically to acquire the rights, improve the products with content creation and with other visual services and technology. So at the end of the day, the end product that we deliver to our customers is what we call the 360 workflow or environment, where we try to get much more than only the rights itself. And for that, over the years, we create all these other business units that are extremely relevant. On the specific side of on the visual services, that it's a huge kind of services that we usually provide to our customers. Some of them is only part of the offer. But we have several broadcast centers around the world. Here in the US, you have in Miami, as you know, and as we did last year, the soccer summit, and with 7 studios and playout, post-production, production capabilities, distribution with a teleport, and graphics operation, and many technology there to provide a turnkey services to customers like beIN Sports or OLED TV or DirecTV Latin America, among others. The Zone have a very good and important center here where they do all their, voiceovers and post-production for some of their, geographies where they are, and we support with these kind of services. So the broadcast centers are this concept of a turnkey place to do everything for a customer. On top of that, we, of course, traditionally in Europe especially, but more and more around the world, the remote production related with the mobile units being, full mobile units to do very large shows. Our fleet around the world today is around 90 OB trucks. Here in North America, we have 12 trucks, 2 in 4K. And of course that, improving and growing every single year, I can say, with more units and more capabilities. Of course, that supports several of our customers, including the Canadian operation and the Mexican operation that we have very large productions there with the mobile units, but also here in the US where we provide mobile units to several customers, including ESPN and so on. So that's a new thing from, I can say from last year to
Well, I know
availability of mobile units here.
I mean, ESPN made good use of one of the units down at the Super Bowl for their activities down in South Beach. And I think, when I talk with some of the broadcasters and the leagues, and the hope is that obviously the leagues will get back in business, the NBA, NHL, MLB, and the fall could be very busy, a lot of activity going on. Do you see your trucks, I mean, from a schedule standpoint, potentially playing a role there? Because obviously you'll have all college sports that ESPN does now. You'll have all the professional sports going on and possibly all the leagues working at the same time. So what's your sense on the opportunity, I guess, if God willing?
It's I think that we are really living and facing a complete crazy moment in the industry. So I think that nobody can say exactly when the normal life, and by the way, the normal life will be anymore the usual, our old normal life, and also in our industry. So I really don't believe that will be the case that all the games and all the matches and all the college sports that lost their timing. Unfortunately, some of them, for example, the basketball that just stopped before the end of the season. It depends a lot when that come back. Of course, that if we're talking optimistically, maybe June we can say something, and then we have a boom. But maybe none so optimistic we can have August, and so it's completely different story, because you cannot have basketball and football at the same time. So will be crazy. But by the way, I don't believe that having all these tools will be limited by the number of trucks and number of available assets. So that means that probably that's the good point of this situation, the current situation, that obliges the companies like us to find, and also our customers like ESPN and Fox and many others, adapting to the new kind of technologies available to do the same thing, probably not exactly the same way, but with the same concept to bring content to the final users. Right. So RAMIs will be more and more used in the future. And by the way, cloud-based production will be used more and more. So in certain sense, I believe that will be a very, very interesting summer, we hope. and definitely all our assets, and we are preparing to have more assets for that moment.
Right, right, right. So obviously, I mean, you do offer a lot of services that, obviously the technologies, the aerial camera systems and the graphics, and I mean, it's almost soup to nuts on a lot of the stuff that you can do for a production. Um, for someone who kind of gets started their conversation with you, because you do offer so much, how does the conversation usually go? Because, it does do play out, it does do studios, you do have the equipment. How do those conversations happen?
With who? With the market?
Customers. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
customers.
It's overwhelming to me
Well,
when I look at the stuff that you.
it's the moment is tricky because it's there is no live sports, so
Right.
it means that all the assets that were prepared, existing assets for all the vendors to including us to do live sports are basically stopped.
Right.
So but many other things are happening. So the playouts are running more and more. The new kind of content with the remote productions with the talents and from home, it's doing more and more. Certain kind of events that can have studio operation, but with the remote controls, are happening.
Right. Right.
And esports is playing a huge role at this moment. You saw the La Liga with the FIFA tournament. You saw the Formula One tournament, and many others. So it's a crazy thing, but I believe that we as usual, the nature of all industries need to adapt, and we believe that we are doing a very good adaptation, and we'll do some will be very difficult. And by the way, we are taking this opportunity in this moment to see if the way that we used to do the things until now will keep the same.
Right.
All of us know that here in US, especially in sports, you need to move a lot of people to the venue to do the production.
Right.
And certain kind of things you can't avoid, so the cameraman should be there. But then more users of remote cameras, more users of remote controls of physical cameras, just to reduce the number of people to go there. We will assist at least during the transition to the normality. We'll assist in a lot of new ways to do the old things. Definitely. For example, we on the aerial camera, the OmniCam for Sky, it's something that we introduced last year. It's a very heavy work because we need to do 4 people or 5 people, depending on the venue, go 2 days in advance to mount and operate everything in local. Well, now it will be possible to do the remote control from other place to reduce the number of people going there.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, so one of the things we've heard the last week or two from talking with all of our members is that's they realize you can't have 85 people at the stadium anymore doing the productions.
No.
How do you do social distancing? So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and by the way, I was talking this morning with all our customers. The coming back, the returning of it will not be from Friday to Saturday. It will take months coming back to the real normality with freedom to go and travel and so on. So it will be phase by phase. And one of the phases will be coming back to have sports, probably without public, but with less crew, meaning that all the controls remotely for something that used to be done in the stadium, in the venue, will be done remotely. And we are doing that. We are taking this opportunity. The technology was there. Is funny. We are not talking about technology that was developed now. It's just to put all the pieces together to make this happen. And the aerial cam is one of them. The graphics is one of them. Double Division did a very good job to create remote controls that at the end of the day you can do everywhere around the world, from everywhere, production with the people at home. Ultimately, I think that this at home will not be strictly at home, but will be without traveling and without taking too much risks. So a lot of development. It's funny that probably we are with the existing technology a couple of months ago. Everybody's adapting that technology to adopting that technology to do something that probably represent a couple of years, at least 3, 4, 5 years jump
Yes.
in the process. It's
Yes, we've heard
amazing
that.
what it's amazing what we're doing. The other area that I mentioned to you about the playouts, linear playouts, of course, that everybody was talking about, cloud-based solutions and so on, or for recorded content and so on. Now, what is happening is that we have around the world, our playout centers can be controlled already, just 2 weeks after they start from any place around the world at home.
Right.
Our people, we have contingency plans over contingency plans right now for the playout in Miami. We have 5 contingency plans. And, one of them is that we don't have any single people, engineer, operation in the facilities. The facility is still running, Ken's still running because it's not a hurricane. But we don't need to have probably just an engineer, because at the end of the day, you need sometimes to push the button to restart something. But all the other operation with, streaming the multi-viewers to the, the operator's home, with the intercom over internet, with, everything that used to be done on premises are done today remotely. And that's possible. It's not a future. It's now the present. So it comes to our mind that what will happen next? Why will we come back to the whole normal, where we now can do? And by the way, some discussions about the changes on the lives of the people. Don't need to travel. Don't need to work to go to the office. The office space is not anymore needed like thousands of square feet, because you don't need to have any more than people. The only thing that really will be amazing is something that is clear, is that public internet, large bandwidth, and a lot of IT, because the new normal will be based on the IT infrastructures more and more, to have all these remote real-time and simultaneous connectivity with hundreds of people going virtually to control equipments that are in a certain place. And of course the cloud for many, the acceleration on the cloud usage in our industry in these just 4 weeks are really amazing. Good things in this sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've heard that a lot of people are saying, the reason they're going to make some of these moves, even to the automatic TV products, but was because of, budgetary reasons. And it was maybe going to be a year or 2 years down the line. Now they have to do it it's not about budgets. It's about being in business and being able to do the work. So it's fascinating to see the dynamic that's going to happen.
It's funny. It's funny about automatic TV, because automatic TV, our automatic production, sports production. That, by the way, we are already using automatic TV not only for sports, also for studio operation, with the same concept of fixed cameras, teaching, and then virtual AI with remote control. This was developed since 5 years ago to do remote or even fully automatic. Nobody, I mean, not really nobody, but the only reason why the people, the market was looking for was basically reduce the costs. Now is not the case anymore. So now it's a question to be alive, so it's, I can say to you that we did more demos about automatic TV in the last 4 weeks than the last year in US. So it's very interesting for, and not only to be fully automatic, so it's to be remote, because natively the system was developed to be automatic with some remote control operation. And then it's completely applicable. And then you can send the cameras over public internet as in the past, and then put in a certain kind of mixer where we can add remotely graphics from where is the operator. And then we do the replays, where is the operator. So interesting. So I really believe that automatic TV and these low cost sports production systems with a lot of technology aggregated to it. Ultimately, we will grow a lot in the next couple of months or years.
Sure. So we have about a minute left. So how would you like to recap everything? What's still left on your hit list?
Just to finally, it's important to refer my new dream about, or my new asset here in US, or our new asset here in US, is a company that I already mentioned. Is called Vision. Mm-hmm. It's a Mediapro recently incorporated company that are working together also with WT Vision and everything that is related with AI and VR and mixed reality, with real-time or non-real-time production in 360, mixing video with animation and real-time graphics. It's applicable a lot, not only with the limitation of the glasses, but also with in the computers or
right.
Mobile phones, cell phones, and so on. All these new capabilities that are appearing, and is something that I really believe that integrated with our services are a new asset, a new complementary solution to keep the same logic that the final remark that is where I start our conversation, is that our vision is that Mediapro can be a 360 right partner for any kind of customer.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, there's no doubt about that. So obviously stay healthy and safe down in Miami. Hope to see you back in New York City soon.
Thank you. I hope that can be as soon as possible.
Indeed.
I'm enjoying the Miami phase again. I just moved last year, so it's good to be here, but not for the right reasons. So I hope to be in New York soon. And as everybody, hope to have new moments to where we can shake our hands and get together.
Exactly.
Everybody's missing a lot.
Yep. Well, be safe, and good to see you as always, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, and see you soon.